Hello, this is Brian Shell, driving into Grosse Pointe, and my reason for this is Grosse Pointe Blank. This is the stretch of road, or at least it is getting to it, where the beginning and ending scenes of Grosse Pointe Blank take place. Now, the interesting thing is that that movie actually was, I believe, filmed in Monrovia, California, and like towards the end, when John Cusack and Minnie Driver are in their car and about to leave town, you could see in the background that says Palm Drive, and I don't believe that there are any palm trees here in Grosse Pointe, as beautiful as it is here. So the cool thing is that this was Jefferson in Detroit, and it turns into Lakefront Drive or Lakefront Avenue. I'm not sure which one, but it's very cool that when it expands into Lake St. Clair, it's not one of the Great Lakes, but it feeds from the Detroit River and then off into Lake Huron, and so that kind of forms the thumb portion of Michigan's, the shape of Michigan's state. So I see some flashing police lights up here. But the cool thing here is that I just want to show you, and it's a fall day here, and so you can see some of the colors and what have you, and gotta make sure that I don't get pulled over by the popo here, because I know Grosse Pointe takes their policing very, very seriously. Ooh, that looked like a fender bender, so I'm not going to rubberneck it or whatever and slow down traffic and take any chance of getting pulled over myself. But so this is when it turns from Grosse Pointe, or from Detroit to Grosse Pointe, this is the little stretch of road that you take, and it's arriving at the point where it's arriving at the point where the lake, where it expands from like inland to the lake. But I mean, like, look at that! Isn't that like just a really gorgeous tree? And let's see here, it says that it's 45 degrees out, and I've got 133,000 miles and 122. Now, 100,000 miles ago, I was about to make a trip across the country from Detroit to Los Angeles and back, but it began here along this stretch of road, and somehow by going to meet one of my old teachers from junior high, I kind of got the gumption of saying, well, what the heck, let's get in the car and go, let's just drive. And it was like the round trip was like 8,000 miles, but I got a chance to see all the mentors, all the people who meant something to me earlier in my life, and say thank you to them. And I recently found out that one of them passed, and it kind of hit me a lot harder than I expected. And interestingly enough, he was one of the writers of one of the songs in the movie Grosse Pointe Blank. If you look in the by the Daz Band, he is one of the writers, and Dugu Chancellor, and he passed away this year. And it was because of this stretch and road, though, that I got the gumption to drive across the country and tell him thank you, and he was the first person I got a chance to thank. So one of the cool things about this little video is that, we have some autumn colors as we are approaching the section of road that starts Grosse Pointe Blank and ends it. So here you go, folks. I'm going to try to point towards some of the homes, because you might be able to recognize the homes, but boy, isn't that great. This also kind of segues into Gran Torino. So there's one of the houses with the dormers that you can see in Grosse Pointe Blank. So isn't that cool? Anyways, but this is also the stretch of road where Gran Torino has its ending. It's a little bit further up. But you get the picture of this is a very scenic place. And at the end of it, like, this is St. Paul Catholic Church. I've played piano there a few times. It's very, very beautiful inside. And it was funny because one time I had my eyes closed and I'm just playing the piano, because it's a Catholic church and it's open during the day to say some prayers. And so I'm playing a little bit of blues or something, or tinkering around on the piano, and all of a sudden I open my eyes. I'm surrounded by Chinese exchange students who all have their cameras out, and they're taking photos of me